most of them kind of alluded to it and said it. It's more ego. And the only person to take a major stance on it was from a baseball purist town and team, the Cardinals. And Matt Carpenter flat out said it should go back to the way baseball is supposed to be played. 2 guys on the left, 2 guys on the right. That's how they should do it. Will they? I don't know yet. But if you're asking me, that's how you can fix it. And I think that's just so nonsense. You can bunt. You can push it to the side. You can take your walks. And they said, and all of them said the same thing, which was, I'm not the fastest guy in the world. Daniel Murphy said it as well. If I want to help my team, a single does nothing. A double does, because a single scores me, and I have to put pressure on my teammates to get me around. That's why you have teammates, and that's why you have Bryce Harper and every other good athlete on St. Louis to drive you in. I think it's just silly when baseball purists say, they got to get rid of the shift. I want to hear your thoughts on it, specifically Terry, since you're not a purist, but you lean towards that.
More than we are.
I would say that I am a purist, actually, but I'm fine with the shift, really, and I'm fine with the evolution of the game as long as it's occurring naturally, which it is. And part of the problem here is we have a commissioner that wants to boost offense artificially. They're juicing the baseballs now, and there's talk of screwing with the strike zone and maybe elevating it a little to make it easier for hitters to make contact with the ball. And they talk about the height of the mound and this and that. And I get that they've tweaked those on and off, over the course of the last few decades, but they drastically wanna tweak things and kind of radicalize everything, and I'm just not for that. I very much think they should let the shift be and let the batters evolve to it and find their way around it. I mean, look at last year. Launch angle was huge. It was absolutely huge. And then this year, it's not quite as big. I mean, because pitchers are pitching higher in the strike zone now. So they've kind of taken that away already. And I just think they need to leave that stuff alone. Let managers strategize as much as they want. And I want less intervention from the commissioner on a lot of these things. I guess is where my stance is on that. Austin, how do you
let the game evolve?
Right.
That's the thing. You have to let the game evolve. Otherwise, it's just going to become stale. I mean, I understand that it's been great for so many years, right? They've been adding little things. They've been trying to make between even with Tampa doing the little stuff that they're doing. Starting with what they're calling an opener now instead of a starting pitcher. They're trying. I don't know that Tampa's trying to make it more watchable, but they're still trying to win baseball games. And if the shift helps people win baseball games, then so be it.
Actually, and I got one other thing too. This is where things get contradicted so bad. Pace of play and boosting offense are two totally opposite things that are naturally going to counteract each other.
Yeah, they contradict each other completely.
Exactly. If they're gonna boost offense, then you're gonna have longer innings because there's gonna be more hits, more guys on base, maybe more pitching changes even, and so that's
you want to boost pace of play, expand the strike zone.
Widen it, you mean?
Yeah, widen it.
Yeah.
If you want pace of play, I figured it out. It's really rocket science, so you guys might have to bear with me for a whole 10 minutes. Just start the games at 6:00.
Yeah.
Start them 1 hour earlier, because a long game in quotes would end at 9. A super long game would end at 10.
Or at least 30 minutes earlier would be good as well. But
just start the games a little bit early, because everyone's deal about pace of play, they don't want to stay up until midnight for the games. No one complains about Cubs games in the middle of the summer at 2:00.
That's terrible, though. I'd be pissed. I hate.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan like us that want to watch the games when we're at work and stuff, yeah, it sucks. But you know what I mean? The average fan isn't like, oh man, these stupid guys at Wrigley playing from 2 to 5 every day. No one complains about football games. The viewership has gone up in the past handful of years, and I just saw a stat. Carabas retweeted it the other day, mocking all the people saying, oh, it's boring, people aren't watching it as much. The viewership's gone up. So it's just literally the timing, I think, because like you said, you want to make all these runs. 17 to 15 games take just as long as 1-0, if not longer.
Here's another thing, too, though. I mean, how many games always end, within 2 or 3 runs, both teams? I mean, tonight we have extremely wide double-digit leads, 20-2 or whatever those 2 games were, the Indians and the Rockies. So, I mean, how many people are really watching a game after 9 p.m. where one team is up by 6 or 8 runs? I mean, you're just not going to win. Like they're searching for a perfect solution, and they need to accept the fact that one does not exist.
No, it doesn't, and they need to understand they're not going to hit every single demographic at the same time. It's okay to not have the 10 to 18-year-old crowd interested in baseball because there's the 45 to 65 that is glued to it. That's okay. Like, people are still playing it. The minor leagues are still up and coming. College baseball is still huge in the South. Like, it's okay. Baseball's doing fine. We're going to be okay. I totally agree that, they should just not worry about that. And I also obviously agree with keeping the shift in the game because just do something else. Just literally anything else.
Right.
Learn how to put it opposite field. Like, at this point, I mean, you're a Major League Baseball player. Adapt.
Yeah, and they're saying that it's
crying out loud, bunt.
Yeah.
It's such a lost art.
Learn how to bunt because nobody in baseball at this point knows how to bunt.
No, it's so frustrating. I hate that no one has
I
bunt.
wish the Red Sox would play National League Baseball. I know that sounds so weird, but I wish they would play small ball sometimes.
Speaking of the National League Baseball, I don't know if you guys have seen the internet, the meme where the guy sits there with his legs crossed and says, "Change my mind."
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So this is for basically every National League fan in the world. The pitcher hitting is the stupidest rule in baseball. Change my mind.
Because it is.
The DH should be everywhere, and it's ridiculous that it's not. And if you want to take it one step further into, it takes the strategy out. Why don't you just add another at bat? Make it a 10-person thing, and have the pitcher and a designated hitter hit.
Oh, the purists would be the purists would light themselves on fire.
Yeah, I don't like that.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, what is the big deal about getting? Like, how is it that a league has different set of rules for different teams? It doesn't make sense. And like you said, the purists would light their head on fire by adding one extra at bat. That wouldn't ruin the game really either. I just don't understand how they still have these pitchers hit. You have Johnny Cueto got hurt again tonight, taking a swing, screamed as soon as his swing was done, and then went back in the game, got visited at doctors again, blah, blah, blah. You have all these guys.
Stephen Wright.
You've had guys like Dallas Braden, who threw a no-hitter on Mother's Day a few years ago, say, let these horses, do what they're meant to do. Let the guys that can pitch, let the guys that can hit. I just don't understand how you can sit there and say the game's better with John Lester hitting instead of David Ortiz.
I'm fine. Even though I'm a purist, I'm fine with a universal DH at this point. And I mean, Cueto might have got injured because he's a little pudgy, and maybe he needs to focus on that. But it's perfectly reasonable for a pitcher to get plunked accidentally because someone's having control problems on the mound, and then you lose them for the season. And I think that's terrible, and that could have a terrible impact. I mean, what if that happened to Chris Sale or Luis Severino tomorrow?
It happened to Bumgarner earlier this year. He broke his wrist after getting
hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He was out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken wrist, maybe longer than that.
And that changed.
And then there was like a
everything
little
for them.
stretch. Yeah, there was a little stretch where people were like, all right, we need a DH in the NL. And then it just died again.
Yeah. I think there needs to be a DH in the NL.
I think we're within 3 years of seeing it. There's been a lot of talk about it this year, and I just think that's going to intensify. And I guess that does not need to happen via a new collective bargaining agreement. Like, it can, the commissioner can implement it basically as he sees fit. And I think with something like that, he would kind of, consult with the union and have their blessing before moving forward with it. But I'd say within 3 years it's going to happen.
God, I hope so, man, because it's just Yeah, it's fun to see Lester hit a home run every once in a while, and it's like, oh, it's great, but like the game's just, you want to talk about pace of play, double switch, walk this guy, do all that. Like, you want to talk about pace of play in just the littlest way. There it is right there. The amount of times you have to do a double switch, or like Erod pitching against the Nationals the other day, throwing a gem, but it was 0-0, so they had to take him out in the 5th inning or 6th inning, so they get a pinch hitter in there. You know, maybe if they had a DH, that wouldn't be an issue. Well, it would be an issue.
Brian Johnson the same way against the Nationals.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Let's transition now into the Toronto series before we wrap. I'm looking for my matchups. There they are. Tomorrow, I'm saying guaranteed loss. I'm going to be Mr. Debbie Downer. Hap has pitched well against us, and it might not be that he may not pitch well. It's just Price definitely isn't pitching well, and that's still a Toronto lineup that can mash. And so it's going to be an interesting start, especially given Price's control problems. He plunked 3 batters in 1 inning in his last start, so plenty to observe.
Unfortunately, I'm still dumb enough to have a little faith in him, so I think they win tomorrow.
I think
Dave doesn't.
So I think Price is actually going to pitch pretty well. I just think the lineup's due to suck. So I think Price goes 5 or 6 innings. I think he gives you a quality start tomorrow, and we lose.
Yeah, I mean, it says here he's got a 2.46 ERA lifetime against them. So
yeah, I don't think that he's going to throw up another stinker for the 3rd week in a row, especially at home, the way the Sox are playing on a nice day out, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think the bats are going to show up every single day scoring 9 runs. So
it's not possible.
No, it's not possible. So I think Price actually pitches okay tomorrow, but I think we split this series. I think between, having a bullpen day at one point, like you said, Hap and Price tomorrow, what happens there. So especially if we lose tomorrow, I think they split, and I don't know where they're going to be, but if I had to put money on it, I say Price loses and the bullpen day we lose.
Yeah, those are 2 very realistic scenarios. I'd love to see Beeks get that start, just because I want to see more. Even if he battles a little bit, I'd like to see him get a healthy sample size of innings.
Yeah, I would like to see. I think he deserves it as well.
Yeah,
I think they win 3 out of 4. I think they lose the Sunday game against Stroman.
Oh, no way. That's a guaranteed win.
Wow.
We kill Stroman.
It was a hot take, I know. It's the last game before the All-Star break.
Both of them. I like both. I like that it's a guaranteed win against Stroman. I like that it's a loss there.
Well, here's some numbers for you. In 26 at-bats, Xander Bogaerts hitting .385. Mookie Betts, 26 at-bats as well, hitting .269. Brock Holt, 20 at-bats, hitting .250. Mitch Moreland hits him at .556, 9 at-bats. Steve Pearce, from his grand tour of the AL East, is also a .500 hitter against him, only 7 at-bats. I just don't like him. He's like David Price light in big moments against big teams. The Yankees do the same thing to him, and I don't know. I think we could knock him around.
I'm not going to take it back, so I've already kind of locked it in at this point.
No, we can definitely knock him around. I just think we're getting 2 out of 4. I think we have to cool off at some point. I think guys are going to be a little lazy on both sides going into the All-Star break. And, we got some injuries. We got guys like Jalen Beeks might start. Velasquez might start again. You got Price who, what's he going to do? So I think it's 2 out of 4.
That's not bad either. Like, people are going to be like, we dropped 2 to the Blue Jays. Like,
nah.
We just won 9 in a row. Like, get off of them.
I'm going to side with Austin and say 3 out of 4. I just think it'll be a different game.
Hey, what game do you think it is?
He thinks the Price loss tomorrow.
The Price loss?
Yeah. I mean, I would love 3 out of 4. I would love a sweep again. I just think the 4-game sets are so hard to take 3 out of 4 from, especially in the back half of your rotation.
It's a different dynamic, too, because you burn the bullpen, basically.
Exactly. So it's tough. I would love 3 out of 4. That would be a nice – that would be the cherry on top to a fantastic first half with that. And I guess we have to give our first half grades next next.
Yeah.
That's
podcast.
actually a great idea. Yeah, that's